pay bus.
Yes.
And she did
and
not.
Feta has 400.
100.
We saw it with our eyes now.
Yes.
Clearly.
And but people come up with all kinds of, stories about places. I mean, when you were a child, you heard that, if you do this, that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you, but a certain place, when you go there for Christmas, you will not come back. Somebody will use the person for something.
Mm-hmm.
We heard all those kinds of stories, but that has changed. That's no longer the story. And Chris is here to dispel all those rumors and the myths. Because Chris,
so many myths.
The last time Chris was here, he was traveling Africa, but now he's traveled around Nigeria.
Yeah, and we did ask him. I remember we asked him a question then, have you been to Port Harcourt? But I think he looks like someone that's been to Port Harcourt now.
And he ate bole and fish.
Oh, I love the bole and fish.
Welcome, Chris.
Yes, so good to be back.
Come on, your password. Do you remember?
What's up, Lagos?
What's up, Lagos?
That's the spirit. That's the
Yes
password.
to
Welcome, Chris.
life. Okay, Chris. So when you told me that, oh wow, you've been traveling Nigeria, I was like, oh, I was traveling too, but I was just like, what are you saying? But then I remembered and then I responded. So what made you decide to travel around Nigeria?
So many people had told me, you got to come to X, you got to come to the north, you got to come to the east, you got to come to the south, and I wanted to go. So I have been to so many states now since the last time I was here. The last time I was here, if you remember, it was just the south, southeast, southwest, sorry, where we are. Yeah, Lagos area. So I'd been like all the way to Ekiti maybe. But now things have changed.
Okay.
So yeah,
Really?
And we're gonna get to it in just a minute. Let's just take a very, very short break, and then Chris will be giving us all of his travel details. Stay with us.
I'll take you to Lagos. I'll take you to Lagos. I'll take you to Lagos. To Lagos.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about the myths about traveling around Nigeria. You know, a lot of us will say, oh, we're very Nigerian, but how many places have you been to in Nigeria? Stretch, how many states across the Federation have you been to?
I've not been to only 6 states in Nigeria. I've been to 30. You can have my autograph later.
wow.
30.
30 states in Nigeria.
Give me.
What about you? 2?
You gotta be kidding. I haven't been to 30, but I have been to at least 20.
You've not been to 30, but you've been to 20. How many states are there in Nigeria?
36, including the FCT.
Yes, so you've been to how many?
20. At least 20.
You're not sure.
At least,
Chris.
I'm not sure. I'm going to count in my head, but I've been to major states. So the few states that I've not been to are in the north, far north.
Okay, when we'll come back to
Anyway, guys,
Chris
we
and
have in the
myself talk.
studio Chris Joondeph, who is a travel blogger. For those of you who do a lot of TikTok and Instagram reels, you must have seen him showing you either chai tea or something that's been brewed in some parts of the world, or telling you about how nice hotels are, or the biscuits that people eat in Nigeria. I mean, you do everything, literally everything.
I do, yeah.
I mean, I saw you putting together some biscuits. I think those biscuits were from Nigeria. I can't remember. Different kinds of biscuits. And then you talked about tea and coffee.
Snacks.
Yes, and then tea and coffee in sachets. And you're like, oh.
The
beautiful.
Milo.
Yeah.
You eat the tea.
I
thought it was chocolate. I was like, this is
it's
chocolate.
chocolate.
It's the tea.
It's chocolate. It's the tea
why not
guys
just take
who
a
make
spoon
it.
and eat it?
Oh God.
Whoa.
That's heartbreaking.
Whoa.
'Cause we love it.
So in this part, recently, when you hear someone went to Port Harcourt by road or you went to Abuja, people get scared for you. Yeah. So, but how many of these trips have you made, and what gave you the guts to do?
I really wanted to see Nigeria, and I felt like it was not going to be like they said. Okay. And so I didn't travel to Port Harcourt by road. Actually, I ended up flying there, but I did travel in the region by road. Okay. Just in terms of time, it was easier to fly. But I flew up to Kano, and so I spent about a week traveling through northern Nigeria. I went to Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi, Katsina State.
Really?
And also Niger. So I crossed the border, was in Niger for about 3 days. That was trip number 1. Okay. And trip number 2, I've been down in Port Harcourt. I've been to Calabar. I've been to Akwa Ibom.
Oh, beautiful.
Did you go to Bayelsa?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
but I was in Uyo and Oran. and I
Alright.
took
Did
the
you go by
boat
boat? Yeah.
to Cameroon,
Oh,
which
lovely.
it was an experience. I'm glad I did. I would never do it again.
Yeah, the Atlantic is
Yeah.
very crazy.
It actually, and surprisingly, it wasn't the boat that was the problem. It was just the immigration and customs and everything else
Whoa.
surrounding the boat.
Really?
The boat was actually surprisingly, I felt very safe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So where did you get to immigration?
I had a lot of trouble in Cameroon.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that part of Cameroon still
Yeah.
has a little bit of problems with the Anglophone. Yeah. But did you try food when you crossed over to Cameroon?
Love the food in Cameroon. Unbelievable.
Doesn't
yeah.
it taste like Nigerian food?
It's really different. So Cameroon, I don't know. They have like 300 something different tribes there, and so
Yeah.
like all the different foods come together. You see stuff that's very very different. I was surprised. I thought it would be a lot more like Nigeria.
But the
But-
contrast was a lot.
The contrast
Was
is a lot. Yeah.
Interesting. Because there's actually some part of Cross River that you can just literally walk into Cameroon.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you get there?
No, not up there. Yeah. I was in the southern part, so I took the boat over. Yeah.
Great. So what were the things that stood out for you in southern part of Nigeria? Because you were in the south. That's south.
Yeah,
South. Yes.
yeah, I loved it. People are so kind. That's like a big thing that stood out. People were extremely friendly. I found honestly everywhere in Nigeria, when you get out of Lagos, like people are really, really
So we're the most unfriendly.
It was like the same.
I'm not
like
saying
New York.
people. I'm
It's
not
like
saying
New
people
York.
are
Yeah.
unfriendly.
Like
They're
New
just too
York.
busy.
Mhm.
They just don't
Yeah.
have time.
Yeah.
They
They don't
care.
have the time for
Yeah,
that.
they don't.
Yeah.
Go to bed by 12 midnight, wake up by 3 a.m.
3
Yeah,
a.m.
yeah.
I mean, you're not. There's
They
no
don't have
to be
time for you,
friendly.
yeah.
Okay, so let me just ask this in curiosity. You are coming from a climb that many people here would love to go to. Many Nigerians know how California looks like, how London looks like. They've gone to all parts of England, but they've not
They don't
been
even know,
around
yeah.
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Now, what made you? I mean, we asked you something like this before, but right now you've come here against all odds. You swam against the tide, and you need to find out. Believe me, that's what it was. Because
Yeah.
all the information you got. Because I have siblings who are overseas, and I talk to them, and they are scared for me. They hear there was an explosion in Nigeria. It could be Maiduguri. They say, "How are you? Are you okay in Lagos?" So I'm asking. You heard all this, and you are not
you
even
still
from this
went to
part,
Katsina.
and you came. What? Just talk to people in Nigeria about your experience and why you did what you did.
Yeah, I just wanted to see the other places, and I wanted to dispel these myths about areas in Nigeria. And I didn't know what I was really getting myself into until, because I believed the myths until I actually went and saw, and it was not at all like that. And so that's encouraged me to want to see more and go to other places. But I mean, just take the North, for example. They make it seem like, an explosion every day, and you're going to die, and, it's terrible. And I found the people in Northern Nigeria to be have so much hospitality, to be so friendly, to be so kind, and it was just like a very peaceful, relaxing place. I loved Kano.
Okay.
Like, yeah, loved it there.
There was no traffic in Ghana?
No, and they were. It's funny. The people in the north are like, "Oh my God, you go to Lagos, you live in that traffic."
I know. Everybody says that. Like,
Yeah.
how do you cope? I mean, if
I would
Abuja
never
people
go.
flight up, they'd be like, people are so tired.
Yeah. What are you doing there? Yeah, Lagos. Okay, so you went to Kano after Kano.
You went to Katsina?
Yeah. Jigawa,
so
you mentioned
after
other
Kano,
states?
yeah. So I was briefly in Katsina. I got a picture with a sign that says Katsina, so I could
That-
say I was there.
That box
okay.
stick stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I went to Niger, and that was very, very different. I think the thing they have in common is just Hausa people, so it's like the same food and culture on both sides of the border, but immediately on the other side it's like a completely different country.
And they're speaking French.
They're speaking French or Hausa, yeah. So
Yeah.
it,
Oh,
it
they
was,
speak a bit of
Yeah,
Hausa.
they all speak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hausa people
actually, they
across
speak
the-
more Hausa over there. Yeah, than French. So, and I didn't speak really much French, so it was a little difficult. But we found some Nigerian or people with Nigerian relatives that spoke English and could help us a little bit there.
So where did you visit in Niger?
I was in Zinder, and Zinder's like the cultural capital of Niger. So a lot of beautiful sort of palaces and places. Yeah, we met the Sultan. It was really interesting.
And then back again into.
And then back, and then that's when we went to all over Jigawa State. We went to like Dutse. We visited the Emir's Palace.
This is the capital, right?
No,
Jigawa.
I think Jigawa City is the capital of Jigawa
Yeah.
State, but Dutse is like another major city there.
Yeah.
And then we went to Jigawa. We saw the Emir's Palace there. Jigawa is beautiful. like a really
I
good
can,
steak.
I can imagine. I can
Yeah.
imagine. And did you? What was more? Because I mean, I'm guessing for every state something would stand out, not just the food. Because I mean, I would go everywhere and want to taste the food.
Yeah.
But did you notice anything that differentiated Bochi from Jigawa or
So,
Katsina? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a great. In Jigawa, honestly, the roads are good. Like, I was impressed. That was like the people I were with, we were like, yeah, wow, this place, yeah, the roads are really good. Jigawa
Let
has
me
it
speak up
together.
for Lagos. They don't have cars. They don't have fun.
It is true, they don't have
They don't
cars,
have
yeah.
cars. They don't move. They don't use
Yeah.
the roads. Yeah. Whatever. Lagos is still it.
You wish. Lagos tries. It's just that there are too many people in Lagos. I guess
they have a
Lagos.
lot less people, which I think makes it a lot. You know, there was no traffic in Jigawa. That was one thing we noticed.
And the
Wide
air-
roads, no traffic.
And the air was
yeah, very
easier to
clean. Yeah,
breathe.
yeah.
What was the culture shock between moving from Lagos or Port Harcourt to the north? You know, and the difference in maybe dressing or I don't know. There had to be something that was different.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, I think Lagos has a bit of everything. So, like you see, you know, all these house men in Lagos, right? And I didn't really think too much of it, but then, you know, when you get to the north, like everyone is dressed like that. Everyone has the cap.
Yeah,
Everyone has
yeah.
those clothes. So it's something you notice like immediately is like you're really in the house of land. All the food is different, and again, like the people are just so kind up there.
Were
That's
you
what I
able?
really
Were you able
noticed.
to be part of any Durbar that happened? Because I think I saw you. You know, turbaned at some point.
Yeah, I wore. Yeah, I got to wear the royal regalia and ride on a horse and get some pictures. That was really awesome.
What do your people feel about this in America? Have they signed you off? Like, go to Nigeria?
They're giving you over to
Like, really?
Nigeria.
Like, I've never had a turban around my head, and I'm a Nigerian.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm basically Nigerian now.
Yeah, whatever.
He is.
All right, so
we took him
let's
over.
take you to the south, Port Harcourt. What did you think when you got into that city?
So I mean, the thing about the South is it's the food. That's what
So
that's what we all know about.
What did you eat? What did you try?
Oh, the bole and fish, of course.
Number one.
Oil.
But the gizdodo. Oh.
Gizdodo.
Yeah.
Gizdodo. I like how he said it. Gizdodo.
I was thinking what that was.
Gizdodo. So that's like the
Gizdodo.
plantain and
Yeah,
gizzard.
plantain with gizzard. Yeah, and it's
Ah.
sweet, like
Spicy.
Yeah, sweet and spicy together.
Ladies and
Amazing.
gentlemen, you should see his face right now. It's sweet like like the feeling once again.
Yeah, and then love the fisherman soup. That's like the
God, I
whole
want to go back to
South
Port
region.
Harcourt.
Yeah.
Fisherman soup.
And then what is the swallow? Is it onunu?
Oh no!
This man is not going back.
We're going back to Port Harcourt. Hey!
This man.
So we're Port Harcourt people.
You ingested
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I love onunu.
Look at how Peter is looking at us like, what's all this?
That's how I'll give you my autograph later, right?
Then here's a question for you.
Yes.
So I know that I think it's like the Yoruba word is like ogbalumo, or
Agbalumo.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
so
that's the
Udara.
is that more popular in the South? Because
Popular
it was
everywhere,
like
I think.
okay, they were selling it everywhere there.
It's seasonal.
Yeah,
You went
maybe it was seasonal.
within
Okay.
The season. It's if
Did
you're-
you try it?
Yeah,
Did you
delicious. Yeah. At first,
my
so
God.
my first experience, maybe it wasn't so sweet. I was like, I don't know this, and then I tried it again, and I was addicted.
Yeah.
So in the sweet ones have a nickname, Wanu.
The very
one
sweet
new,
One
yeah.
new one. So I'm looking for one new.
One new.
In the West, it's called Ajashe, the one that is sweet. There's
Very
a specific type that's very, very sweet.
It's sugary.
So yeah, that one is one new you took.
Yeah,
If
when
you-
it's sweet.
if you don't get the one new, you will not talk about it like this.
Yeah,
Yes.
There are some that are not one new.
We have to go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Chris is still here in the studio. Stay with us.
We bring you up to speed with great talk.
If you know what these ex-governors get as
Every day is a new experience.
I'm not giving you consent to get into my property.
I don't need consent because as far as I'm concerned as an enforcement officer, I have certified you to be a traffic offender.
Your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. What's up, Lagos?
I'm here to remind you. That's the bed, you know it. So I'm here to remind you that if you wish to be a commercial manager for a company or you wish to earn well on a weekly and a monthly basis, Kirby Nigeria is here for you. They're telling you that they're a multinational company and you're offering you an opportunity to be part of their managers across Nigeria with earnings over 500,000 naira. But please note that a car is needed for this role. So if you're interested, all you have to do is call these numbers: 0815-705-0505. That is 0815-705-0505. Or you can call 0905-637-4258. 0905-637-4258. Thank you.
Take it to Lagos.
It's What's Up Lagos right here.
Yeah, feel good. I'll take it to Lagos, to Lagos. Take it to Lagos. I'll take it to Lagos, to Lagos.
It's What's Lagos right here.
Thanks for calling Bastion HMO.
Since I signed up with Bastion HMO,
must be made. My people just to work hard. Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Yeah, reactor. Ignite your energy. Bring out your inner champion. Reactor. Reactor. Ignite your energy. Bring out your inner champion. Reactor.
Reactor Energy Drink. What you need to push your limits.
Wahala. Reactor Energy. Push your limits. No get tired. No way. Reactor Energy Drink. Reactor.
Push your limits.
Thanks for calling Bastion
since
HMO.
I signed up with Bastion HMO, I don't worry about hospital bills. I get access to top quality healthcare and still save enough for other things. They even help me pre-book my doctor's appointments. Bastion HMO also gives me access to over 1,700 hospitals and clinics with the freedom to switch whenever. I feel so in control of my finances and health.
Call 0800 Bastion or visit www.bastionhmo.com to purchase a plan that suits your needs. Bastion Health, the HMO that puts you in control.
Taking the first step is tough, isn't it? That's self-doubt barricading your mind. All you need is a moment of courage, of confidence, the self-belief to push your limit. It starts with the first step and then the next. So, make it count. Now, move. Keep going. Keep running. Keep the end in sight and never quit. Don't stop till you cross the finish line. These are the moments to live for. Moving forward.
Get ready to go beyond the limit at the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon 2023 on Saturday, February 4th, 2023. Learn more at www.accessbankplc.com/marathon.
Access, more than banking.
Everybody get internal face. I say they hustle every day, I'm on they look face. But I know say one day I go make up. Yes, I know say one day I go blow. We move, we move, we move, we move, we move. We move, we move, we move, we move, we move. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I know say one day I go make up. Yes, I know say one day I go blow. We move, we move, we move, we move, we move. We move, we move, we move, we move.
Turn that fear into victory.
'Cause I know say one day I go make
What are we doing today?
Hi, I'm Zainab. Are you a mother?
And then I've had friends tell me, hey Zainab, the way you're going to spoil this child. Like you see her as your own source of joy.
Or an aspiring mother? Are you single, married, separated, divorced, or a single parent?
I
Are you concerned about your body and about pregnancy transformations or managing your toddler's tantrums and the general challenges of motherhood we didn't tell you about?
Share your stories on Maternity Line.
Fridays, 12:15 p.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. It's Maternity Line.
At last, the elections are here. Let's turn out en masse on election day and vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as president of Nigeria for a renewed hope and a better Nigeria. Vote APC, the party that shows a broom.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is What's Up Lagos.
I like how he said it.
Yeah.
Legos.
Yeah, Legos.
Legos.
Yeah, people call it Lagos.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. As long as we know it's Lagos.
We know what you're talking
And
about.
don't worry, but next time Chris is here, we're speaking pidgin.
Chris must know small.
Small.
I do.
You know small.
I do.
You
How
can
far?
try.
Alpha now.
Yeah.
Move on from that and say something else.
You know what's up. You know
It's
what's
okay.
up.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't put pressure on
What's
me.
in the apple now?
I just Deo.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome.
Chris, you have earned See, Lagos, in case you don't know, Chris Self is looking for cash.
Yes. See, look at how people are advertising our country.
I'm just managing.
He's managing.
Managing.
It's small change that he has. He's managing. Can you imagine? You have money, but you don't have money.
Don't worry.
Stretch,
It
I
won't be
can't
like-
lie. I had managing.
Yeah.
No, but we're all managing. We're all managing.
We are not managing.
Me, I
now.
don't even have 2 naira, safe. 2 in cash.
We will beat Fed
Did you
and
see the
collect.
video of the guy who said they gave him one naira coin?
In a plate. He took a bowl to go to the bank.
Well, holler.
This is just all a joke, but they'll get their act together. So, Chris, where else are you heading to now? What's the next
Yes.
step? You've done-
Wait. You're in a hurry. So he went to Port Harcourt.
Yes.
Now you came to Uyo.
Uyo.
Calabar.
Yeah.
Tell us what you ate. I know.
And who did you eat it with?
No, what you ate. Tell us about your experience in Uyo.
in this region, in Uyo, I had pepper soup. It was
Oh.
very good.
Is it goat meat pepper soup?
Goat meat pepper soup.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
You eat it with good.
Goat meat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or dog. Are you sure it's not
No,
dog?
it's not duck meat.
Are you sure it's
Yeah.
not dog meat?
No.
Okay. Because that place is.
So you had pepper soup. You had pepper soup? You like
Yeah.
spicy?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, but it was very spicy. Like I've had pepper soup here, and
then you have
it's
to-
nothing.
soup.
It's
You have to-
nothing.
so
yeah,
you have to be like-
nothing compared to there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need, yeah. You need the napkins. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I was crying.
Oh, but it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
And
tears of joy.
so that's all you had, just pepper soup?
I think I had some grilled fish as well. Yeah.
Nice. Did you go to the golf resorts? There's a place that.
No, I know about that place. Yeah, I went to some area in the city. There's kind of like a central market. And there's like a really big church there, and there was a big church service that was almost like it felt like a concert was happening. Yeah, it was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand where that is.
Mm,
I haven't been to
it's
you in
been
a long
long,
time. Yes.
it's been long.
Okay, so let's move to Calabar. Then we'll now talk about where you're going next.
Maybe it's the ecumenical center, the one the governor built.
Yeah, the one the
big-
governor just built. Oh, maybe that's where you went to.
Mm.
So what happened in Calabar? Did you go fishing?
No, Calabar. So Calabar, I was there short time. We came from Oran in the morning.
Oh, by
and then,
boat.
Yeah, came by boat, and then I was there for about one
One
day.
hour.
Yeah,
Oh, one
just
day.
a few hours, and then flew back to Lagos that evening. But I got to see, I got to try some food, but it wasn't like super southern food. I had some draw soup, so that's kind of all places. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Calabar was nice. I really I went to the Slavery History
Oh, the
Museum.
whole-
That was
yeah,
really
the Slave Trade
cool. Yeah.
Museum.
And I really was interested by the large hands they have
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Do you know what those are about?
So it's a hand and a foot.
Yeah.
It's on the way. Yes. So
but there are other places too. They something with hands. Yeah.
Yes, it's because so those hands, I'm sure you saw them also in the museum. So you see the head and the legs of the slaves and how they were packed like sardines.
Yes.
On the ships that they were taking, to to Europe. So that's what it signifies. Yes.
They had shackles on their hands and their feet.
Yes, and their feet. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Calabar was really nice.
Yes, and then we have I think the Mercilessa and the twins. There's like there's a monument of her and the twins.
Okay.
So you didn't have time to go around, but that was fun. So where are you going next? Because she is big. There's Middle Belt.
I recommend Sambisa Forest. What? So you that get to visit Nigeria? Go to Sambisa Forest.
No, there's no such thing.
There's no such thing as Sambisa Forest.
You're not going.
You will go.
So next, I think I want to visit Abuja. That's
you haven't?
Yeah, I haven't been. No, I haven't been.
Okay, you left the worst for last because it's going to be like where you're coming from.
Really?
It's very well organized.
I've heard good things.
It's the most planned city in the country. Yeah.
But I hear now it's getting Lagosy, but
Not
it will
really.
take quite some time.
Not really.
Wide roads, the works. I think you should visit.
Very good roads.
But,
there's lights. There's a lot of security because it's it's like the federal capital territory. That's where Mr. President is, and of course the Senate, and etc. etc. So it's pretty organized, very laid back. At 9 a.m., the burger guys are not ready to serve burger. So
Yeah,
it's
I
really
think
laid
Abuja, Benin, Wari, and Maiduguri. Those are like the four places I really want to go.
Wari, she's from Wari, so
I was going to ask you. I was waiting to ask you.
Yeah, that's on my list. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You need to eat starch and banga when you go to.
I've had here, but I need to have it there.
No.
Yeah,
Go to
the one that's
Fidel's
bringing out in a clay pot and it's still boiling.
Yeah, that's the one you need to try.
Don't they speak their own pidgin in Wari?
Oh,
say something for us.
Yeah.
They bought it. They are the ones that
own it. We own it actually.
Okay.
Yeah, all we have is
That's
photocopy. Because they speak a show type. So every part of Nigeria has pidgin,
right?
But it is lactations from those places. But then the Wari pidgin seems to be like the real deal.
The new terms.
Every day,
okay.
Terms, for everything.
Yeah. So it's
comes from
a bit of lingo and languages, all put together. It's crazy.
Interesting.
It's fun. And then Port Harcourt also they have their own pidgin, which is also Pitakwa. Yeah. So it's beautiful. Nigeria is beautiful.
So summarize. So far, you've been to Nigeria against all odds. Everything you heard. I'm sure you have disciples out there over there wanting to come.
Who want to come? How many people have told you, "Hey, I want to come see Nigeria because of, of the videos that you put."
Yeah, and even Nigerians just saying, "Oh, I want to go to that state that I never would have thought of going to." Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good thing.
Because we're the ones that have 365 days of summer, but Nigerians are proud to say they went for summer holiday.
So here's the most interesting thing I learned about Nigeria recently. So I was surprised to learn this, but Nigeria's passport, out of, say there's 200 countries in the world, where would you think Nigeria is ranked? Number what of 200?
168.
168?
In what terms?
So
Depends on
just sort of like how many countries you can go to.
With the passport?
Yeah.
Just ECOWAS like this.
No, not like 10?
ECOWAS.
10 best?
African,
10?
African countries.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
like you can get into without,
so let's say
visa,
like the number one I think is like Japan. You can go to like 198 countries if you're Japanese without a visa.
Nigeria is just
so where would you think Nigeria is?
No, it's
all
just West African states. That's all.
And a couple of islands.
Yeah. It's interesting. Nigeria ranks 100 out of 200 countries. So in the very middle. And you would think like
you should be able to go to
middle amount of countries, which is really surprising. And it's quite a lot of countries that Nigerians can travel to. You have all of ECOWAS, which is actually a lot of countries, handful of countries throughout Africa, and then handful of countries in the Middle East and Asia as well. And there's a surprising amount of places that Nigerians can travel to, but they're like so focused on, I want to go to London. Like, I want to go to this
everybody
place.
wants to go to England.
But
England.
there's beautiful countries. There's Senegal, there's Cameroon, there's
Senegal
all these
is
places that you can go and you don't need a visa. And Nigerians don't, consider Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo.
Yeah.
Ivory Coast is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It depends on where you go.
But I think it's the colonial thing in their heads. We think that if you don't go across the sea, you've not traveled.
You haven't traveled.
So if someone says I'm overseas, I'm in Cote d'Ivoire, they will say, "Mabek, you didn't go."
Look, I never knew how beautiful Africa was until I started traveling Africa. I was on a beach on the coast of Nyali, which is just across from Somalia. It's in Mombasa. It's one of the most beautiful places ever. The water and the sky are the same color. It's beautiful, and people kept saying, "Is that Africa?" Yes, it is. Same thing. If you go to some nice places in Ivory Coast, you'd be shocked that that's Africa.
Yeah.
There's so many beautiful places.
Even in Nigeria.
Even in Nigeria. I mean, I come from one of those places. I wish you had gone to the mountains in Obudu, where you could touch the clouds.
That's next. I want to go there.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's so many places, but we take those places,
But I think it's actually in the B to want to experience another man's culture, because I'm already African. So maybe it's not so excited to, because Africa.
I think
just
it's
like
because we don't have information as to how beautiful these places are. Because I've seen a place in Kaduna and I was like, oh my God.
Because you could have traveled to anywhere else. I mean, but you had to come to Africa to experience another culture.
But even in America, they travel within America.
Yes.
For holidays. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans go from here to there.
Just because it's beautiful. Yeah. We'll go to places
Niagara Falls,
but I agree. I personally like to travel for the culture. I find it interesting to learn about the culture. But not all Americans are that way, and they just want to go, oh, there's a beautiful waterfall here, so they go there in the US. And I think like there's a lot of that in Nigeria that maybe just doesn't get the attention it deserves.
Exactly. And that's why I think states need to push further to let people see what's in their states, so that people can visit. And everybody thinks that, oh, when you get to a capital of a city, that's it, you're there. But that's not it. I mean, just too many beautiful places, especially in Nigeria, and traveling Africa should be the best thing. But before we talk to Chris again, Feta has some information for us.
Yeah, I'm here as your info girl to let you know that you're going to actually experience the Axis Bank Lagos City Marathon that is set to take place tomorrow, 4th of February 2023. Guys, it's the 8th edition, okay? And the exciting prizes up for grabs. I've been telling you this. It's time for you to gear up, lace up your shoes, and hit the road. You can participate in either the 10 kilometers or 42 kilometers marathon races. The 10 kilometer is going to start at the Grace Court Garden event place in Durosimi Eti Lekki Phase 1, while the 42 kilometer race will begin at the National Stadium in Surulere. This is going to be lit. So remember, believe in yourself, okay? Keep pushing and never give up, because if you're that athlete and you're feeling like, I've done it all, I can't even do this anymore. See, I trust you. You can be the guy that wins the ultimate prize. Just note that the marathon is designed not to promote health and fitness, but also to highlight the athletic talent within Africa and showcase them to the world. And I believe so much in you. My mind is telling me that it could actually just be you that wins this ultimate prize. So what are you waiting for? This is your chance to win the ultimate prize, meet great people, support charity, or just have a great time. But trust me, I can tell you everything you need to know. So all you have to do is visit www.accessbankplc.com/marathon. That is www.accessbankplc.com/marathon to learn more about this Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Okay, are you ready to run? Please come out. Let's go make this marathon a day to remember. See you there. See you there.
All right, and we are on the home stretch of the show. We got messages coming in.
All right, this one says, "What's up, Lagos Capital?" No. Okay, there's another one altogether. I saw something I wanted to just put up here.
Yeah.
Up. Okay. This one says, "Good day, guys. On Tuesday, I queued for fuel." That's not what we're talking about right now. Okay. Good morning. What's up, Lagos? Dutse is the capital of Jigawa. I served in Buji local government area, Yaniya, Tukar, to be precise. They are wonderful people. Till date, the villagers over there still call me regularly.
Oh, that's so
the
sweet.
roads are wonderful. Collins from Badagry. He said you should try Benin's pigeon.
Yeah, that's true. Benin also has a different kind of pigeon.
They have their own pigeon flavor.
Nigeria is just an interesting place.
Yeah, they have their own pigeon
I think
flavor.
the people that shouldn't speak pigeon are my people. We should just leave. Let's just leave it.
That is very true.
Yeah,
they say
that's interesting. What he said about Jigawa. Just so one thing, like the safety. So I think the North gets this impression like it's so unsafe, and you're gonna die instantly. And here I am. I went there. We traveled by road between all the places. I didn't have a single problem. I felt like there were security checkpoints throughout, and what's really different of like security checkpoints maybe in the South, never asked for money. Never anything like that. They were genuinely there just to like make sure, are you safe? Like there are no problems. And so like things felt very secure. The people were incredibly kind, and I never felt worried while traveling there. And of course, like bad things happen sometimes
Everywhere.
in Nigeria, but they happen
Yeah.
everywhere. They happen in my
Everywhere.
country too.
Awesome, yeah.
And like you're always taking a risk no matter where you go in the world. Even when me just going out of my house in the US, I'm taking a risk.
Yeah.
But I found that, I felt there was no more risk in northern Nigeria, and I really like enjoyed it. And I thought like the people were so kind that, it negated any sort of like insecurity I would have thought of, like how could people this nice, have
Yeah.
anything like that happen here?
Well, nobody can really tell. But I'm just gonna go a little personal here, because this looks like this is what you're gonna keep doing for the rest of your life, just exploring and finding new places. Because I think that people who travel and blog or write about it, do it not just because of the money that they make from it, but because they love what they do. But do you see a point in your life where you're just going to sit down and just, sit it out, especially when you start having babies?
Nah,
Or are you going to backpack with the kids?
Having
Yeah,
babies.
we're taking the kids.
So those children, God, send me the ones that want to move around.
Maybe not as often as I am now, but yeah, the kids are coming.
Because
Yeah.
I've met kids who said, "Oh, I traveled around a lot. We moved around a lot." Yeah. So where were you born? Texas. Where did school? Minnesota. Oh God. But I'm guessing that if you have kids, they're gonna love what you do.
Yes.
And
How do they love what you do? Or you set them
I
up?
hope so.
All right, so someone sent a message. I think this is the part of fun and being truthful. He says, "Good morning. What's up, Lagos? This is Jokes calling from Fuel Q. Please, does he need a Nigerian that may take him around and probably jackpot together around the world?"
So do you need a travel buddy? He does have a travel buddy, guys.
I do have a travel. I'm already claimed.
Yes, she's claimed.
Too late. Maybe when the next person comes, you hang on with that person.
He's already spoken for. Thank you. Mhm. All right, Chris. Before we let you go, what would you say to the average Nigerian who say, now because he be on Yibo, if not be saying on Yibo, you know what I mean by Yibo.
Yeah.
What would you say to travel around? Expensive than to get a visa to go to England or
A great question. So I travel with my girlfriend who's Nigerian. So she goes all these places too. She's had no problems either. And she's been to more states than me. She's been to Benin, Wari, a lot of the South region, even before I did. So she goes to all these places as well. There's loads of Nigerian travel bloggers on Instagram that are very popular, that are doing way more than I'm doing. And they should be getting a lot of attention as well. And I think like Nigerians just, they might see me and, oh yeah, he's a Yibo guy, so he doesn't have any problems. But think about all the other Nigerians that are doing even more than I'm doing. And I think like they're not getting the attention. And so follow some of those bloggers and see what they're doing, and you're going to hear the exact same thing you're hearing from me.
Follow them. But how do we get to see more of those videos? Do you have TikTok? Do you have Instagram?
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok and Instagram both. My username is @AuthenticTraveling. And off the top of my head, I'm not thinking of any bloggers right now, but I will happily start sharing them more on my story now that I think about it, to show people like who are these other Nigerian bloggers that are going these places.
And do you plan on bringing any members of your family down to wherever you visited to be like,
yes,
you need to leave the US for a second?
So my dad has expressed interest in coming here, so I want to bring him out here.
Daddy.
Yeah.
That one interview on the house.
Yeah, I'll bring
Yeah.
my. So actually, my dad he often speaks on radio too, so he would be a great guest to have. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so let me just go the other route to, are we expecting some wedding bells soon?
We need some time to figure all that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I have learned that the immigration situation and all of that is incredibly complicated.
Yes.
And so it's a process.
Okay.
You
I
have
get
to-
I get that. I get it is complicated. Yeah.
It is.
You're
It
right.
is. But then, of course, I mean, the average Nigerian, everything. Once you say you have a girlfriend, the next thing is like, when I get married.
How many children?
I know.
How many children do you want to
I know.
have? How many kids do you
How
want
many
to
children
have?
people want to have?
Are you going to live in Africa?
Our own is we are specific. We
Yes.
don't. I hear some people say, you guys in America, all due respect, I with my girlfriend for 9 years. This is my girlfriend.
In Nigeria, if you dare say, 9 years.
Do that here.
So Funny story. So in America, like you would typically introduce your girlfriend to your family, like with no expectation that you're getting married. The thing is, like you want your family to kind of like, oh, would they like her and kind of feel her out before you have to decide. But I've learned, like, my girlfriend told me, like, oh, if you met some of my like extended family, that means we need to be married in 3 months, or they're going to be asking questions.
Yeah,
so
very
different.
normal.
That's how we are.
So most of us, we would wait for a long time before we ever let the guy come see the family.
Because once you show him.
Yeah.
There's some dads who just be staring at you. So what is your intention with my
man, that's even okay. They'll take your number and start calling you personally.
So how are you now? How are you guys? When are people coming?
Yes.
When are people coming?
It's ridiculous, but I mean that's the beauty of cultures clashing and stuff. It's really beautiful. Well, I'm sure you've learned a lot about the different cultures.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm sure when people are having, so maybe when some of your African friends are having conversations, you don't feel left out because you have an idea.
No, yeah, exactly.
Did you have any culture shock though when you got here?
Of course, yeah, a lot of different things. Yeah, especially with the tea.
The
tea.
So we have so many.
I saw that video.
I know. Do you notice how we say sorry? We say sorry
a lot. You say sorry for everything.
I want to ask you a question. Sorry.
Sorry. Do you know where?
Like I'm sorry. I didn't do anything to you. Why are you saying sorry?
so those things most of us miss because we're here.
Yeah.
And when you hear someone from the other side tell you, what's wrong with
Why are you
sorry?
saying sorry?
Why am I saying? Why would I
So
say
it's just
sorry?
milk the tea thing that stood out for you.
Auntie, sorry, auntie. Sorry that I say sorry. Well, Chris Joondeph is a travel blogger. Always a lovely time to have you here in the studio. Talk to us about all your travel experiences, and we're hoping that one day you're going to bring her to the studio with.
She should come with you. I don't know why
you come here. Yeah. She's working right now.
I know.
She's probably listening to me at her work. Yeah.
Hi. How are you?
We love you.
Oh, the win.
Yeah.
All right.
When are people coming?
Okay, follow Chris Joondeph on social media, on TikTok and Instagram, most especially. I think
Authentic
traveling. Authentic traveling. Just look
Traveling
for
or traveler?
Authentic traveling.
Traveling,
yeah.
okay.
Authentic traveling. Just for those of you who TikTok, go find him on TikTok. If you're on Instagram, go find him. Chris, always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day.
Thanks for coming, Chris.
All right. Well, that's the show today, Lagos. It's time for us to pack our load and be going to look for. We're looking for cash.
Lagos.
I brought my box, too.
No, Lagos.
I'm gonna be sleeping
Lagos.
here.
We have been complaining that for the past 4 days we don't have cash. It started with Feta and myself. 750 naira within 2 people.
Now I'm the richest one though.
She now has 400 naira. But I'm telling people that if people let this week happen to us like this, God will judge all of you.
I understand.
So can they rally round us?
Rally.
I think I need a boyfriend in Central Bank. Please, if you work in Central Bank and you're a nice guy, please call me.
I know a guy. His name is Murphy.
Hi, Murphy. Can I get your number? Guys, we gotta go. My name is Mary Ann Nicole. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, MIMIEY, or just find Mary Ann Nicole anywhere else.
All right, Stretch Original on Instagram, Stretch Cool on Twitter. I'm out.
Fetter.
Of course, Fetter Dynamo on Instagram. Guys, I love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired get fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.